Next up, we are going to talk about Julia Fox. I mainly know Julia Fox for two reasons. She was in the movie Uncut Gems, which is maybe the only Adam Sandler movie that I ever thought was good.
Hilarious.
Sorry, sorry. I know sorry people, y'all Adam Sandler fans out there. Billy Madison and all of those other movies, never really understood why they were
Man,
funny. Sorry.
Waterboy went tough, bruh.
Waterboy, okay, I'll give you Waterboy. I'll
Oh,
give you Waterboy. I'll give you Waterboy. I'm not giving you Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and all of those other goofy movies that he did. But I know her from Uncut Gems, and then I know her as the planted girlfriend of Kanye West during that little stint when
yeah.
she was with Kanye. So those are the only two reasons why I know who she is. Apparently, she's a fashion person. I guess she's big in the fashion industry. Her face kind of looks very weird there if you're looking at the graphic. She
To say
kind of,
the least.
yeah, she kind of looks drawn to me, but I guess in the fashion industry, I guess she looks great. Another thing that I don't understand, it goes over my head, but whatever. Y'all are smarter than me, so I guess that looks good. But she recently made comments about why she's been celibate for 2 years.
Oh,
And according to her, she's been celibate for 2 years, not because of relationship. Most of the time when I hear women talk about how they're celibate, it's because they're on a personal journey. They want to take a break from men.
yeah,
They
yeah.
want to kind of figure things out for themselves. That whole kind of thing. Um, I never really hear them mention any sort of political reason as to why they've done this. This is the first time I've heard this, although I'm sure it's not unprecedented. But usually that's when I hear women saying I'm going celibate. It's usually for personal stuff. It's usually about men and relationships and all of that kind of thing. So this woman here, this Julia Fox character, because that's what her face looks like there. She looks like a cartoon character. Um, it says Julia Fox shares the political reason she hasn't had sex in more than 2 years. Julia Fox has a political impetus for abstaining from sex. The Uncut Gems actor announced on TikTok last week that she's been celibate for over 2 years. She made the revelation in the comments of a video response to a controversial and now defunct ad campaign by the dating app Bumble that declared a vow of celibacy is not the answer. Appearing on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live Monday, Fox joked that nothing good comes from having sex, including children, before noting that she decided to become celibate following the Supreme Court's 2022 rollback of A rights. I think with the overturning of Roe versus Wade and our rights being stripped away from us, this is a way that I can take back the control, she explained. It just sucks that it has to be in that way, but I just don't feel comfortable until things change. Fox, who shares a 3-year-old son, Valentino, with ex Peter Artemev, said she doesn't have an end date in mind. And though she missed having sex in the beginning, she told Bravo's Andy Cohen that she's more focused on other areas of her life at the moment. I think it's just like getting over anything, smoking, drugs, whatever it may be, she said. Eventually, you just forget. And then all that energy that you were putting towards sex, you can put it toward other things. As for as for self pleasure, Fox said she only masturbates once or twice a month, quipping, sometimes I'll start and then I get tired and lose interest. Uh,
Jeez.
so
She
Fox
even lose,
admission,
she even lose interest with herself.
Fox's admission may come as a bit of a surprise to fans given her early days working as a dominatrix and brief, if highly publicized, romance with Ye, the rapper formerly known as Kanye West, in 2022. So, apparently, her opinion is one that people pay attention to. But she claims that she has abstained for more than 2 years because of Roe versus Wade. So it's a political stance she's taking. Um, do you think that there's any merit to this on her part? Do you think any of this makes sense?
No, I don't. I feel as though um, this statement is political, as if her opinion matters enough for people to look more into this ruling. like her not having sex is so. It's like whoa, Julia Fox not having sex. Why? Why not, girl? It's because of Roe versus Wade. Whoa, hey, we're gonna have to bring this back. You know, is that what this is? Is that what you're trying to do here? Listen here. I don't even know who this person really is. But as you mentioned, man, um, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I saw this woman, I was like, bro, this is this a they them? What's going on here? And then I saw the picture with her. I was like, oh well, okay, this is the girl that was dating Kanye. And yeah, because even in that situation, I think we covered it. I'm not too sure, but even in that situation, Kanye was just leaving, crazy woman. And this is her friend, Kim's friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's plugged into that world. And so I find it really hard to believe she ain't give up no box in 2 years. And and like I said, man, if she is, what I'm saying, taking matters into her own hands and lose interest with herself, this celibacy might be a real thing because ain't nobody really interested in her like that. So listen, this whole Roe versus Wade thing, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, but I would say this. I really feel as though this statement is supposed to galvanize this energy towards that ruling, that other like-minded women who don't like that ruling could all get together and try to make a stand towards it. So hey man, pick your partners better if you don't like the rule, and then lay down with somebody that you actually would have a child with. Maybe maybe that'll fix things. So what are your thoughts, sir, on Miss Julia Fox not giving up the box in over 2 years because of Roe versus Wade?
Yeah, that last sentence of yours is pretty much the point that I was going to make.
Mm.
People just want to be able to do whatever they want. Uh, you said that before. I don't think people, for whatever reason, today's human seeks to live in a world devoid of any and all order. I don't know why, but to most people today, I think the internet has just rewired people's brains on how they process certain things. But for whatever reason, the current human perceives order as lack of free will by default. And they just want to be able to do whatever they want to do. Like you, I'm not going to touch Roe versus Wade because that's too controversial. But do you know what this reminded me of and why I'm making the point that people just want to be able to do whatever they want? This reminded me of BBLs. Like, honestly, where my brain went with this was BBLs. Can you imagine how, can you imagine the bedlam that would ensue in the streets if the government came out tomorrow outlawing BBL surgeries?
Oh
Can
yeah.
you imagine what would happen? There
Oh
would
yeah.
be burning buildings, banks would be on fire, post offices would be getting, banks would be getting looted, people would be crashing cars into Walmart, stealing groceries. There would be pandemonium in the streets if they outlaw BBL surgery tomorrow. And you'd have people like Julia Fox coming on television, and what would she be saying? I'm not going to, what is the equivalent of not having sex anymore as a political statement when it comes to BBL surgeries? I know I'm gonna exercise.
No,
Like,
they're not gonna post on social media anymore.
right, as if that inherently makes the world a worse place to not see your social media posts. Like this, like these individuals, man, they just want to be able to do whatever they want to do. And what you said before you let me speak, when you were like, maybe do a better job with making your choices and your decisions so that you don't have to deal with the consequences that come along with having to take advantage of such a thing as Roe versus Wade. Well, such a thought process invokes the notion of having order. And when there is no order and you can just do whatever you want, you don't have to answer for any sort of lack of judgment or a poor decision that you may make, because there's always a way to remedy that bad mistake. There's always a way to remedy it. There's always a way
Mhm.
to fix it. You can just sort of go and do what you need to do so that you don't have to deal with the consequences of your poor decision. And I feel like it's the same way with, like, in a roundabout way, I kind of feel the same way about like BBLs kind of. It's like, well, what is the quick fix? What is the circumvention that I can seek out in order to have me work around the fact that I'm lazy, have a poor work ethic, and I don't want to exercise and eat right and balance out my nutrition and do right by my fitness? Well, I can just cheat on it by getting BBL surgery. There's no penance for me to pay in that regard, because it's a legal thing. I can do it. It's my choice. So who cares about all of this? Like, I was working last week
Mm.
and I was sitting there in my office and I have the TV on for background noise. And I was watching a movie on the Bravo channel. So my TV was still on the Bravo channel and it started playing one of their reality shows. And
Okay.
there was one of the people who was on the reality show. It was a woman, and she was in a car traveling with like a group of her friends, and they started talking about BBL surgery. And the group was basically like, yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get my BBL. Why the heck am I in the gym working and exercising for?
What?
What's the point of that? Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just talking about it gleefully as if that's a happy medium to strike. Like, why work hard at getting my body in shape naturally when I can just figure out a workaround and get BBL surgery? It serves the same purpose. Why not? And my point overall with this is, people are just on the come up. People are on the lookout for the first opportunity to circumvent any poor decision. To me, bad nutrition, bad eating, not caring. And I'm not saying you need to be in the gym 5, 6 days a week, 4 or 5. I'm not saying you need to be in there crazy, but I do believe personally that everyone should do some modicum of moving around, move your body around, do something active. It doesn't have to be strenuous or extensive. Do something active. There isn't a piece of literature in the world that doesn't tell you that being active helps with your overall personal health and wellness. And I think ignoring all of those things and eating poorly and doing all of these other irresponsible things is a poor decision. So when you cannot have to reconcile that poor decision because you can just figure out a workaround like getting a surgery to make up for it, people are going to do that because people just can't help themselves, and they're always looking for circumvention. So this this thing that this woman has going on, this Julia Fox character, where she says, I'm going to be celibate because of this Roe versus Wade thing. Yeah, it's noble to say that you're going to take this personal stance on account of Roe versus Wade. But for a lot of people, not everyone, but for a lot of people, that thing represents one's ability to be able to not have to deal with consequences for poor decisions.
Mm.
Like, let's just be honest about that. However way you want to slice it. Now, certain things happen, and above all else, I am a champion for free will, and I am a champion for one having agency over their own body. But I am also an accountability person. So my whole thing is, be responsible for your decisions, and you may have to face consequences for those decisions at some point, because you just can't keep getting, permanent sort of perpetual get out of jail free cards. But that's what people want. People want to be able to do anything. People don't like order. Order is the enemy. I see that nowadays. People don't like order. People view order as an inherent constraint to life, as if to suggest that the presence of order means by default you can't do things and live life and be happy. And I fundamentally disagree with that. But I think that a lot of our current technological advancements have conditioned people to believe that order is the enemy of life. And I think that there's a balance to strike in the middle there. We don't have to live in absolutes where it's one extreme or the other, where it's all order or none at all. But that's what the internet does. It shreds nuance from the conversation, and it sort of conditions people to believe that the presence of order means that you inherently don't have life. And I think that that was a part of people like her, people who think like her, who are so triggered by this thing. And for her to go on this goofy stance, to me, it's like, who cares? The world is probably a better place if she no longer procreates personally. But
Yeah, like I'm not looking
right,
forward to that.
yeah, like she's doing us all a favor if she has no more children in all likelihood. But this is more so, and this is more so like a way for us to kind of see how people just don't want order. They just want complete and utter chaos.
Yeah, man. And if they actually really did have like some type of law going against BBLs, bro, voter registration will go through the roof, bro. That'll be bigger. That'll be bigger than vote or die. Like people are like, and there'll be dudes too. Now it's some dudes out there that's got the plastic fetish. I see y'all out there, bro. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
see y'all
Well,
with
they're
y'all.
not hiding. They're not hiding. They're very proud. They're very proud to espouse their plastic fetish nowadays. There's no hiding in the shadows. They talk about it
I mean,
openly.
and not to get off topic, but I gotta ask this question real quick. And this is for the people that love the plastic fetish, the women too, because you know what I'm saying, y'all be bigging them women up too in the comment section, so y'all be giving them praise too. What y'all don't really care about them surgery scars and all those lumps and stuff? Like y'all like how that look? like I think people like the curves more than they actually like what they're actually looking at. I think it's more of a curve thing. You know, sundress, hey, they killing it. But you know, everything else, all things considered, I mean, it looks like a wreck down there. But hey, let me know, please. I don't know what I'm missing. Um, and this was in response to a Bumble thing. Well, Bumble was basically telling the women that them saving themselves ain't gonna do them no good, which is a horrible statement to make. But they're a dating app, which is basically a sex app. So of course they want women to be giving up the box. So of course they said that. Now she said this in response as if she is on the other side of the fence. But her saying that I'm not having sex because of Roe versus Wade, you're in the same boat basically. Y'all not far. That wasn't an extreme. Y'all both represent the same foolishness. Bumble saying have sex with no accountability, basically. Use our app and have sex with no accountability. She's saying, hey, I'm not having sex anymore because I want to still be able to have sex without
Without
accountability.
accountability, right? Yeah,
So she's not on the opposite side of the fence. They're on the same side of the fence.
yeah,
You know, if one's tier 3, okay, she's tier 2.5. She's right there. She's not far off at all. So yeah, this is bogus, man. So I'm not buying this. Every time this woman comes out, because we cover with the Kanye thing, and we're covering her now with this. She's a sideshow like her Kardashian friends. So you're probably right. Well, we don't need to see her procreating anyway, bro. We don't
no,
we don't need any more savagery in the
no,
world. So
right.
yeah, I don't agree with this. I do agree with celibacy for the reasons you mentioned earlier when you were saying that hey, some women go through that phase where hey man, I've been either striking out here, it's wild. I need to find myself. All of those are great reasons. So I don't have an issue with that if somebody wants to shut it down. But shutting it down because of this, I feel as though that's not really thinking all the way through. So
Yeah,
it still sounds like there's a problem there. So yeah, she can kick rocks. Get out of here, Miss Fox. And
I think that there is a line between, like, I think there's a line between individual agency and free will and accountability for poor decisions, right? Like there's a line there, but I think we're conflating those two things and we're making it, if you attempt to hold me accountable, you know, that means that, do you understand what I'm saying? It's like
Mhm.
people are trying to conflate those two things. And it's like, all right, yeah, I get it. There's agency, there's free will. You should be able to make whatever choice you want. But that shouldn't also mean that you can just make bad choices into
Correct.
perpetuity and just
Correct.
get out of it because you just can.
Correct.
And for a lot of people in the world, that's what they want. And so they get upset with stuff like this and they make these quasi political stances, not because they believe in the spirit of free will, but because they are threatened by the idea that they can no longer do whatever they want and not have to deal with the consequences as a result of those decisions. And people just want to do whatever the hell they want. That's
Mhm.
what this boils down to. People just want to do whatever they want. Um, and I agree, look, man, I believe in personal responsibility and free will. Go figure, because life is nuanced. It's not black and white.
Mhm.
So I can say that confidently because I firmly believe that.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, I don't think that a world devoid of order is the best thing because, as you've said, and I agree, humans should not be left to their devices to just do whatever they want.
No, they should not.
No, they should not. We are
No, they should
not
not.
we're not responsible enough to just do whatever. We're not.
Correct.
Okay, period. I don't give a damn what anybody says. But I think that's what we want. People like her, these social anarchists out here, they want a world devoid of order. Bring it back, bring everything back, open up the floodgates. They just want everything deregulated and devoid of order because people just want to be out here doing whatever they want. That's what I think this is about. This is not because she's speaking up for women, or she is in a roundabout way, but not in a good way. But it isn't about some message of like, it isn't about all of those various themes and narratives that people come up with to justify why they are not in favor of these kinds of decisions. It's more so about, hey man, you're taking away my ability to make bad choices and be able to get out of it. Like that's what this is, and people hate that.
Yeah, hey, for all my coding geniuses out there, somebody come up with like a AI generated scenario builder where you have like a whole society and then there's like these various check marks that you can check off. So just for one of them, just check anarchy and just see how things go. Then another one you say, hey, check where when we don't recycle or check when we don't use and just see what the simulation looks like over 30, 40, 50 years or whatever. Just to see how things go. That can be a nice video game too. Like I just gave y'all the gem out there. So try to generate something because I would like to see these scenarios where people go, let me do whatever I want. And it's like, do y'all really want this? Let's see how the world looks in 30 years when people are allowed to do whatever they want. And I'll tell you, bro, it's already going in the dumps, but it's gonna hit there at light speed.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good Sims game. Remember those Sims games, those reality, or like Roller Coaster Tycoon. They need to come out with a game like that where you just kind of create a society that can just devolve into chaos.
I think that would be
And just
pretty interesting, man.
yeah, that would yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Let us know in the comments what you think about that one, man. You think her celibacy stance makes sense, or do you think it's a bunch of baloney? I think it's a bunch of baloney.
Hogwash. Get on out of here, girl.